Put it over. Can't see us. What's it okay? Oh, I pushed it up there. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, excuse me. Can you get it? You can't get it? Oh, yeah. You did. I can't see. Find out.
Listening to the song that God gives.
Can't see it. Can you see it? I can see you on this side. Thank you. Let me see for that. I can see you. Yeah, I can see you.
No, it's different.
You said it's skipping?
It's different.
Is it two different things?
I'm trying it out, but it's not there.
Okay. Can't see. Oh, yeah, I can see. I can see you with this.
All right, we on.
Welcome back to the Encouragers, everyone. I'm Jaya.
And I am Trivia.
And we are the Encouragers. So, last week, we talked about some of the things that we do in life that we don't feel like we should do, that we don't feel like we're good enough to do, and how we have personally pushed and thrived through those discouragements that we've heard, and we've received encouragement, and that's how we succeeded in those different obstacles.
Yeah, so when we met we talked about 2 weeks ago, I was personally talking about some challenges and things that needed to have some encouragement about. And I'll share that later. But sometimes when we get disencouraged about things, it just takes us to rethink of our why. I heard that a lot over the past week. What are you doing? What are you doing for your why? And that's where we find our encouragement when we know what we're doing something for. So over the past so many weeks, I had to figure out what my why was and why am I doing the things that I'm doing.
Same. I get asked that question in almost everything I do, and I could personally say sometimes it gets annoying, but that's a great point. But unless you know your why you completing the test, or why you're going out for the sport, or why you're going out for this position, it's not gonna make sense, or it's not gonna feel like you deserve it until you know why you're doing it.
All right. So one of the things that I think is important is when we begin certain aspects of our life, because we go through one season after the next season after the next season, and we don't always think about why we're doing it. We always do things because, oh, it feels good, it looks good, somebody wants me to do it, but we never stop and say, well, why am I really doing it? And I've had a lot of seasons like I'm just doing things and I don't have a purpose. Oh, it just feels good. A lot of people are going to be seeing me. A lot of people are going to be interested. They think that it feels good. And just the other day, I woke up and I said, well, why? Why do I want to write a book? Why do I want to speak? Why do I want to do things that are out of my character? And I realized, no, I don't have to do the things that I don't want to because I think everybody else wants me to do them.
Yeah, definitely. So, and that made me think about school and stuff. In high school, I was just gonna go with the grain and go to the high school that everybody else was going to, because the high school, middle school were right there. Um, and then my English teacher, one of my mentors, she encouraged me. She believed in me enough to tell me about this challenging school that was going to be the best of the best, and it wasn't just for the average people. It was like a different environment, and honestly, I was scared, but I had to and ask myself my why, like the difference between the two. Why go to that school versus the high school that was connected to my middle school? It was challenging, so I definitely would have had more opportunities. Um, I would have met more people and better chances to network. But for some reason, for 4 years, every time I walked up and down those steps, like going up to the school, I would ask myself why. And I never had a clear understanding, and it would feel like a dream whenever I went up the steps. Like, I'm here. Why am I here? What am I doing here?
Yeah, but that's typical. Like we wanna do the things that feel comfortable, that feels good. So to go be able to go to the same high school and middle school, heck, even elementary school, it feels good. It's, you know everybody. You don't feel like you're a freshman. You feel like you're a senior, even though you're in the ninth grade versus the eighth grade. Um, and I think that's the same thing for how typical. We want to do what is the norm for everybody else, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's the norm for us. So when we step outside of our norm, then it becomes a question of, well, do I belong here? Why am I here? What is the goal for me to be here? And it's real interesting because we never really think about that. We just go with things because somebody said, hey, you should do this. And sometimes it's good because I feel like if you had to do it all over again, would you do it all over again?
I don't know. I keep asking myself that because it's like at the end, I felt like I didn't really accomplish anything, and I know I did, but I felt like I didn't. So I would definitely change that aspect, as in doing more, being more involved, knowing more people, or giving more people the opportunity to know me.
Oh, you being real sarcastic. What more could you have done at that school? You were doing everything. I don't think it was anybody in there doing as much as you were doing. But on a real, like, yeah, but to be able to go to a predominant school, and I think about the TV show Cheers, where everybody knows your name, and you can go to a predominant school, and when you go to a job or go to a school, and you're like, oh, I went to City, and they're like, wow, versus I went to NAF. Well, what is NAF? So it's like when that balance out. Yeah, you might have gotten the same thing, probably not. Um, but you had, because you stepped outside of your comfort zone, you were able to accomplish more. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, I'll talk about what I want to talk about later. But the experience I just had, um, I really was nervous. I'm still nervous. Um, but I wouldn't have traded the last 6 weeks for the world. Am I still tired from it? Absolutely. And sometimes you have to do what's not normal to other people. I had someone to say, "Oh wow, you got what everybody else got in 4 years. You got in 6 weeks." And I know it was hard, and it was hard. But if you do what everybody else is doing, you're gonna get the same results that everybody else is getting. So yes, I'm glad you went to school. For those poly people out there. Um, and that's a whole nother thing because like just because of the choices that you made, and your sisters made, it gave me a different perspective on life because I only knew what I knew. I only experienced what I experienced, the basic citywide schools, Lake Flippin, Dunbar, Monroe, Carver, that's all I knew. But I've always known particular people to go to city. So I thought that that was real cool to be able to watch y'all go to city and some of my nieces and nephews to go to college. I mean, it's like an awesome experience.
She brought up that school. Yeah, I definitely think it was a really good experience. I wouldn't have had the same experience at the other school. It definitely would have been different, but I wouldn't have had the same experience. So when I think of that, that's definitely my why. Getting that opportunity that I probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. Um, I'm gonna get to brag. Open to the school on top of the hill.
Yes.
um, but and then I always have to think about that choice affected my other choices and like where I am now, which keeps everything you do or everything I do, I ask myself why. So going to Bowie, I ask myself why it's only 45 minutes away. If I really need to, I could just catch the train back.
I COVID.
They had sports management, and I never heard of sports management anywhere else until I wanted to go to Florida, and they had sports management with entertainment management, which is what I want to do, event and entertainment. So when I saw sports management, I just thought that was really cool, and I love I like sports, but I love the behind the scenes of sports, like getting ready for the games, getting the crowd pumped up. And that's what I love.
So you want to be a mascot?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I thought about it, but I want to be an agent in the sports perspective, and then I will still be able to do the event planning because my clients are going to need parties and press conferences and stuff like that. So I definitely think going to Bowie was a great opportunity, or is a great opportunity, because I'm getting to see new careers that I didn't even know of. I'm not going to talk too much into it because I don't really know about it yet. But with Bowie, they even with COVID, they have been sending out job opportunities almost every other day. Internships for the fall, internships for next summer. So it's definitely been a great eye opener, which, like I said, always brings me back to my why. Because I see new things that I wouldn't have seen, especially if I went out of state. It wouldn't have been the same aspects from HBCU, from a PWY. So,
I'm sorry, I was just looking at you on this video, like, oh, girl, what's wrong with you? But yeah, you had an opportunity, a different opportunity than a lot of your classmates in high school. And I think that that's cool because I did see a couple of them go to your school, but it was like night and day. Your high school and your college are like night and day, and some of those aspects that I think that you were able to develop and some of your other classmates was that the diversity side of it. And a lot of us don't get that diversity. And like we just want to again remind us that we don't have to go with the norm because when I saw your high school, I was like, oh, that's different than what you're used to. And then when I saw your college, that was completely different than what you were used to. And I was like, wow, I know she can make it anyway, but how is she going to make it? Did you have any kind of reservations coming from high school going into your college?
um, a lot of people would think it was like the workload. It wasn't. My high school truly prepared me for college. I mean, I still don't like writing essays and papers, but they did prepare me because while writing 2 pages is hard for a lot of the freshmen when we were there, we wrote a 5-page paper in like a week in high school. So it wasn't even a big deal. But my reservations, it will probably be trying to fit in because, college, high school, everybody wants to have fun. I'm more of the person that wants to see everybody having fun. And then the air quote fun look for between high school and college was definitely over the top because seeing that the faculty and the staff wanted to have fun with the students, I just thought that was really cool. Obviously, that can't happen in high school because they just want to do whatever they want. But I just thought that was really cool seeing that the faculty, the staff, they were involved with the events on campus and that they weren't just watching to make sure everybody was being safe. They were actually having fun too.
Being unsafe.
Yeah, safety, safety, of course.
And I think you just led into our gear shifting because I was holding out to talk about my last 6 weeks. And you said in high school, the teachers aren't like that. The teachers don't want to have fun. And the last 6 weeks I've been in teaching training, pre-service training, and I heard a lot of things that I haven't been in high school, middle school, elementary school in a long time. So it was a lot of things that they were saying, and I was like, is that for real? And one of the things that we talked about a whole lot, we talked about extensively was building relationships with your students. Do you think if a lot more teachers or other teachers would build relationships, that would make that atmosphere change? Like, oh, the teachers really want to be involved with the students, type of thing.
Absolutely. Well, Miss Clay, she is the middle school mentor teacher I was telling you guys about a while ago. She reminded me, even in middle school, that I had to push and I had to make myself like I had to challenge myself, not just go with the norm, not just be in my comfort zone. She encouraged me to do so much. For example, me and the twins were in the program S Squared, and we went to DC. it wasn't my first time in DC, but it was my first time having that experience. Um, Going to a college, I think we went to Howard in middle school.
Okay.
Um, so I definitely think having that type of support relationship between teachers and the students would push them to say yes. They really care about me. It's not just the grade. It's not just a paycheck to them.
So you had the experience of online from college,
Mm-hmm.
and we are all going back to school virtually. And it's kind of scary, but I think I had a little bit of experience of what to expect this summer. Um, what would you say to a high school, middle school, even elementary school student who is going back to school virtually and they may not have did anything last year, so they don't even know what to expect? What would you say, or what would you offer? What kind of encouragement would you offer them?
Definitely find your own space. Um, so I finished the semester online, and then I tried to do a few summer courses online. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but definitely find your own space. Even if you have to tell everybody else, this is my school time. I cannot be bothered. I cannot be called. I cannot help with anything during this time, um, because it's still your grade. So it's just because it's online, you would expect a lot of teachers to be more lenient. That's not always the case. And then because we are still at home, it's completely different from being at school where you're kind of motivated by your classmates. At home, you kind of have to motivate yourself, which is really hard to do under certain circumstances. So I would say make that school time and that homework time like known to everybody in the house. This is the time I can't be bothered. Find your own space and actually make sure there are no distractions. That can be really hard, but you got to get rid of the distractions because it's super easy to just turn on TV while your teacher is talking right in front of the TV. Like try to have your eyes sight together.
Playing games.
Mm-hmm. So we just gotta remember to focus, even if you have to have like a little paper next to you, like you're in school and you're doodling, but you're still having that opportunity to listen and actually gain the information.
So that's good. To have something to doodle on. What would you recommend to a teacher? Because you have been experiencing YouthWorks 101 virtually 2020, and there's a lot of things that we see that's going on. So you're like doodle. Do you think that having having a game system or something like that is helpful during virtual learning?
For the students or for the teachers?
Oh shoot, definitely not for the teachers.
Well, see, I'm biased. I need something to keep my focus or like to keep me awake because I don't want to like walk around, but I know if I have something near me, it will keep me up. Um, Especially since I'm not in school or we're not in school, you can't just have the person next to you like, "Hey, wake me up if I doze off," or "Wake me up if I start snoring." But having a game isn't. It's not the best idea. So for a teacher, you don't want your teacher to, or a lot of people wouldn't want their teacher to just give them the A's they want to work for it. Some people, those
Oh
people.
wow. I think, just to cut you off, but any student who thought that they just got A's and 100s last year, we're not doing that this year. You're working for your grades, for the way.
Right. So just for the teachers, it would just to be understanding. I know it's important to have the cameras on and stuff, but this is a whole new experience. So the early morning thing is like I'm not going anywhere, so I could still be in my bed. Or I could just be waking up when classes start, so I'm not even 100% like up.
So what about incentives? What kind of incentives can you, which would a teacher offer a student? So I've heard things like a Fortnite gift card. And I'm like, I'm not giving a kid a Fortnite gift card. I don't even know what it is. But it sounds like it's something we're fighting. And
I
go ahead.
honestly don't even know what Fortnite. It's a game, I know that, but I don't really know what the. I don't think it's like fighting. I think it's like a. You don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's like a Lego type of thing. It's not.
Well, that's
Lego,
something different. They told me something about a Lego gift card too.
I don't know what.
So, but I said, I don't know. Like, I think I would rather spend my gas money and take them a little dollar store gift because I don't. So, what kind of incentives could a teacher offer a student to make them sit up straight, put on clothes instead of night clothes? I'm a firm believer if you got a uniform, wear your uniform every day. Like, that's just how I feel.
That's gonna be interesting to see, like if people actually wear the uniforms. Cause we're in the house, like parents aren't really gonna want to go wash it, but I don't know.
But they're not running around getting sweaty. They
That's
can put
true.
their clothes on and take them back off after 5 hours.
Uh, incentives is it's like a rocky situation because you want to give them something. You want to say thank you for joining because a lot of people aren't, or thank you for actually participating. But you don't want to break your bank. I mean, what it's until January, so like 4 months.
Somebody said something, and I think I'm gonna say it right, because I can't say stuff the way that it should be. But they mentioned over and over and over again, free 99. Is that a term? Like get everything for free. Wow, that's my goal.
But where?
Like you can write letters to people and say, okay, I have 30 something kids and I want to give them incentives. They have one, I remember y'all used to get it back in the day. Like if you read books, you get gift cards to some kind of pizza place or something. I don't know. But it's free stuff out here.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like how would they get it? Because a lot of the school systems they will take anywhere. You might have somebody far from where the school is. Would you drop it off for?
Yes, if I don't have to buy a Fortnite gift card, I will drop it off.
But then, yep, that's a plan. That's an idea.
So I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. I'm seeing myself move around and I'm jittery and I'm this and I'm that. But I'm just trying to boost my energy back up. Um, so I think that these are like good topics. So I just want to share with the listeners I am officially a teacher and I am officially going virtual this year. So like that was a long 6 week training, like beyond. So if you're looking for a teacher in training program, check out BCTR Teachers in Training because you're gonna get everything that you need in a short period of time.
Yeah, that 6 weeks went by real quick.
No, it didn't.
No, for me, like I have a day or two to get a lot of work done. That's gonna be interesting.
Mm.
So we talked about our. Do you want to talk more about your why? You didn't really talk that much about
Yeah, because I said I was gonna say my why, and that was my why. So for a long time, for probably 20 years, I said I want to be a speaker. I want to be a speaker. I didn't know what came with being a speaker, um, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't know why I wanted to be a speaker, except for every time I went to a conference, the trainers and the coaches and the speakers they all were saying something that was making a difference. All saying things that were impactful to the community. So it never failed. Every time I went, I was like, I want to do that one day. And 2 years ago, well, 2015, I decided, hey, I think it's time for me to write a book. I felt like I heard the Holy Spirit. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to write this book. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And I never did what I thought I was supposed to do. I began doing what other people were doing. I began writing in other people's books. I began speaking on the level of other people. And just the other day, I woke up and I said, well, why? Why am I doing it? I don't want to. Speaking and writing are two different things, but to me, it made me feel good. To me, it made me feel like I was doing what the best of the best were doing. I was writing in, for lack of better terms, best-selling books. And I realized that everything I was doing was to benefit somebody else. My why now is completely different. My why is things that's going to make me happy. My why is because I know without a shadow of a doubt the things that I'm doing is not to please other people. Um, Truth be told, being a teacher does not pay a lot of money. But if my philosophy is if I can reach one student, then it's not about the money for me. So if I'm writing books and I'm supporting other people, why do I want to write a book? I don't, because it's not benefiting me. It's benefiting those who are the visionaries for those things. So I'm learning to take my why and shape it into a real why, because as long as I'm fulfilling other people's whys, then it's going to look different. Like I'm in the process of working out I'm in the process of working on a project, and I'm going to finish the project because that's what I do. But I never want to write again. That's not my why. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm learning who I am through learning why I'm doing the things that I'm doing and why not to do the things that I'm doing.
Okay. So, other than teaching, what do you think you should be doing and why?
I think I should be relaxing. I don't really beautiful doing this and everybody else's kids. Now it's time for me to live life the way I want to. I'm going to take this teaching and I'm going to give it 150 plus for the next 2 or 3 years. If God sees fit for me to do more than that, by all means I will. But for the next 2 or 3 years, I'm going to give it all my all. I'm going to reach as many as I can reach. But at the same time, what God has called me to is bondage to grace connections and connect them with other people who are doing the work to tap into our young people, um, to bridge the gap between college and career readiness. So when we come back, I'll just dig a little bit more into that, but that's my why. Somebody over there saying something.
Good afternoon.
Oh, well, I wanted to break because I've been over here fidgety trying to go to sleep.
Girl, I'm tired. I'm telling you, I like that song too.
Girl, when they used to dance all over, I feel like, they used to dance all over that church. Hey, Auntie.
I don't really know how much time we have, but let's talk. Um, yeah, there's a mess. Sorry, it's been a very crazy day, but YouTube. We are sorry that we've been MIA starting this week because I am officially a unemployed. I'm employed, but I'm not working where I was working anymore. So, I'm definitely gonna be. We're gonna be doing our talks every Saturday, 3 to 4 p.m. Facebook. Thank you for joining us. Excuse me. I had to yawn really quick. It has been a very long day, but we definitely wanted to make sure we sent out encouragement to everyone. Don't know if you guys can hear that song. It's making me want to dance. I'm trying to contain myself. But if you can hear this song, you can go check it out on She's Boss Radio, on Facebook, on growwithflo's um, YouTube, on She's Boss Radio YouTube, on TuneIn.com, She's Boss Radio Network.com, on Periscope. It's a wide range. It's a 24-hour radio show. Definitely check it out. There's the Losers Bench. There's DJ Dog Style, Sport Factory, Unbox, Nurses Lounge, and the characters. Something I wanted to say. Oh, I'm looking for sponsors for my pageant. So if any business owners out there, or if you work at a business that may sponsor people, please let me know because this is a really big pageant for me. It's my first national pageant, so I'm super excited about that. But it's definitely with COVID, it's been harder to go out to the places that I wanted to do. So if you know anyone, please reach out. Let me know. But we're starting.
Oh, I should have got you some water.
And we are back.
Welcome back to the Encouragers, everyone. Again, I'm Jaya.
Oh, and I'm Trevia.
And before we left, we were talking about our whys and some of the things that we do and why your why is important.
Yep. So we left off with me talking about why my why is important,
Mhm.
and like I said, I learned that I was doing everything for other people, but I know what my why is. My why is to do things that make me happy. My why is to do things that I get fulfillment in, and my why is to do things that pleases God. Um, you might say, "Oh, well, you said writing a book." Yeah, that might please God, but if He didn't tell you to do it, then nope, nope.
So, we are the Encouragers. This is She's About to Radio Network. And you're going to tell us some of the other stations.
I'm
Some of the
gonna
shows.
All right, next time you go. So I'm just gonna go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right.
So Monday they have DJ Mecca and Good Morning Soul. That is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Nope, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then DJ Danny D at lunch special from 12 to 1. And then at 7, they have Lakita and Tasha's Loser Bench. I'm going to come on that show one day. And then Tuesday is the same from 10, well, really from Monday through Friday. It's DJ Mecca, Good Morning Soul, and DJ Danny D Lunch Special. So that's every day, Monday through Friday. And then 3 o'clock to 3:30 is Andy Chambers, the Silver Fox Show. And then at 7 to 8, it's Mike, Ivan Kev, and the Sports Factory Show. And we know that sports is in effect. Basketball is here. I don't know if y'all saw those Clippers the other day, but ooh. And then Thursday is DJ Doug Style and Beat Nerd Nerd Hub. I can't pronounce anything today. And that's from 5 to 6. And then Makita and Pam on Unbox from 7 to 8. And guess what? Then it's Saturday. By Saturday, we are all tired, but we want to listen to Sharon and Sharon's neighborhood chat, Sharon and the crew, and then Charlene's Nurses Lounge, and then Jaya and Trivia that encourages. And it might be Trivia and somebody else if Bowie don't let Jaya come off the campus. So we're going to try to figure this out.
Yep. Even if we got to go back to the phone thing.
Yeah, we're going to do this. So that is She's the Boss Radio Network. And the founder is Miss Lakita Berry. Oh, yeah. I don't forgot. Oh, yeah, we got to get the flappers in. All right. So we want to just continue with our conversation with encouraging through our why. And you might feel like, oh, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I keep going back to school and I'm never finishing. I keep working this dead-end job, but I want to start my own business. The important piece of figuring out what to do next or why you're stuck in those positions is to figure out what your why is. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And if what I'm doing is not why I'm supposed to do it, then I have to figure out what my why is, right? So I'm still stuck on what my why is, and I'm like a couple years away from 50, but I guess I'll figure it out by the time I'm 50. But while I'm doing it, I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, according to God's will, and I'll figure out my why that way. But I do know why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Yep.
I'm still figuring it out. I understand my why for some of the things that I do, but as far as, continuing on and not giving up, still trying to figure that out.
Well, guess what? We got one more week, and we're going to think about our why. We got about, 5 more minutes? So we're going to take these 5 minutes and give you our tidbits. We're going to give you our words of advice to pray for those who need to be prayed for. Because as I think about, just the mere fact, there's so many people who are going through just the motions of life happenings, going through the motions of losing loved ones, going through the motions of dealing with sick or unhealthy family members. There's a lot of things to be praying for, and right now, I just know that now is a better time than any to begin to pray for our family, our friends, our city, our country. I say our because he is our president. But we have to pray for him. We have to pray for his governing body, those who are leading him. So there's a lot of things to be praying for. The homicide rates and the violence rates in our city are very much needed. We really need to pray for those who are victims and those who are the predators. We need to pray for those who are getting ready to go back to school. Our college students are going back to school in the next week or two. We really need to pray for them because if it's not one thing, it's another. And we just want to keep everybody lifted. We want to pray for our seniors because a lot of seniors, they are home alone or we don't know how to deal with them or how to help them because they're on a whole nother level and we are missing the mark with them. So for me, I just think that we just really have to be intentional on praying, and that's my tidbit. That's my little 2.5 minutes where that's the only thing I can encourage you to do is pray. I don't know who your God is or who you serve, but we definitely need to be praying to one God.
For my little tidbit, I definitely want to piggyback on what you just said. If there are any high school seniors, college freshmen out there, reach out because I definitely want to. I'll probably post something in the next week. I want to do something, whether it's like a little webinar or like answering questions, or because this is a hard time for everybody. But you guys, you should have been celebrating. So I definitely want to help out in that area wherever I can.
And what's your social media handles?
I can't even tell you because I don't know. But you can definitely reach out to Grow with Flow. So we're Growth with Flow on.
Is it growth or growth?
It's Growth on Instagram.
Oh, growth. Okay.
Grow is our free ticket. So Growth with a TH. With Flow on Instagram. We're Grow with Flow on YouTube and Grow with Flow on Facebook. So if you contact any of those platforms, then I'll definitely reach out. But I want to do something, even if it's like a hey, these are some of the tips that you should know, even if you're doing college from home. Just because you shouldn't be a lone person. We should be having fun. It's freshman year.
Yeah, and you also can hit us up on the encouragers on Facebook and Instagram. Um, and it's the encourager without an S. But we are definitely ready to move. Um, and Jay, I think that that's a good idea. You can put that on Facebook, Instagram. Just set the date and let people reach out, and we can definitely set up a webinar where we're having these real conversations. Yeah, so I'm excited. And if you are youth workers, if you are working for youth workers in Baltimore City this summer, have a special conversation with your director or your site lead because there's some really, really great things coming up with youth workers as well. So I'm excited and I'm just looking forward to what we're going to talk about next week. Hopefully, we'll have a special guest. So until next week, I am Trivia.
I'm Julia.
And we are the Encouragers.
Sorry. You ladies just keep up the good work because God is there. Thank you. Like this. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this out and I'll talk to you guys later.
My birds always seem to get better. Thank you.